Hi everyone. In this video, we will learn how to create a customized histogram in Excel, Minitab and RStudio, and also understand how to display skewness and kurtosis for better data interpretation. What is a histogram? A histogram is a graphical representation of numerical data that shows the distribution of continuous variables by grouping data into bins, that is, intervals. It helps in understanding how data is spread, whether it is normal, skewed, or uniform. So let's start with Excel. First, we need to enter our data and enter our bin values. So now I have already entered my data over here, and then I have entered the bin values, nothing, that is the range values. So then go to data tab. So if you open data tab, you can see data analysis over here. So if you didn't find data analysis over here, go and check my previous video where I have clearly explained how to open the data analysis toolpath. So now I'm clicking to it. So you can see analysis tool, and here you can see histogram. So we are going to create a histogram. So I'm clicking histogram and click OK. So next it asks for input range, bin range. So I'm going to add both the range with inclusion of the labels. So I have ticked the labels. So I'm going to enter my input range, that is, I have ticked the label. So I'm going to start from the label, that is data, until the end of the values, that is here. So now the input range is entered. So now I'm going to enter the bin range. The same, the label is ticked. So I'm going to select from bin to 100. So now both the ranges has been entered. So next we are going for the next output option. So in output option, if you want the output range in the same sheet, you can select the range in the same sheet from this to that column. If you don't want, you can go for my option, that is new worksheet ply, so which will be more clear. So there will be another sheet open down here, so in which you can see the output separately. So after selecting it, you can go for chart output. So if you didn't select chart output, the output will not be got shown. So ensure that you have checked in the chart output option. So now I'm going to click OK. So you can see in sheet 2, the output has been displayed. So in sheet 1, we have entered. In sheet 2, we got the output of the histogram. So now you can see there is two outputs. One is frequency table and histogram. So now we are going to see how to customize this histogram. So you can see here a plus symbol. So if you click that icon, you can see chart elements. So the panel shown in your image is called chart elements. So we can open it by clicking the plus icon. Okay. So it is used to add, remove, and customize components of your chart. So like histogram, we are going to customize all other charts using this option. So first we can go here in the chart elements. You can see axis. So axis, if you click onto it, you can see primary horizontal and primary vertical. So it's nothing but it adds and removes x-axis and y-axis. So if I remove this tick from primary horizon, you can see the x-axis has been removed. X-axis is removed. So then if I click back, so you can see the x-axis is showing here. So it shows the primary horizon, shows the bins and intervals, and you can see bin. And the primary vertical axis shows frequency or density. Okay, so here we have shown the frequency of the given data. So this is used to show or hide axis and format scales. So it is very important for histogram clarity. So without these axes, histogram will not be clear. So next we can move on to axis title. So the same primary, horizon, and primary vertical is horizontal and vertical is given over here. So what does axis title mean? It adds the label to axis. So like bin frequency is the axis title over here. So if I remove the primary vertical option, so you can see the frequency has been disappeared over here. If I click it back, you can see the frequency, that is add title. Axis title is showing here. So you can type whatever the title you want in this area. So next we can move on to next one, that is chart title. So it add title to our graph, that is the chart. So here it is above chart. So you can see histogram is the title which is above. It is the heading which is above here. So if you go for centered overlay, so it shows the histogram is overlaid with the chart. So then you can go for more options for editing it. Like you can see here, it gives the fill-in options and then shadow, glow, soft edge, 3D formats. And if we go for the alignment, vertical alignment, text direction, and we can also customize its angles according to our own format. So then it also has text options like text fill, it could be in whatever the format, like solid fill, gradient, picture, pattern, and we can add our own colors in it. So next we are going for shadow option. So in shadow option, you can see it shows shadow. So we can select the what type of shadow we want. We can go along with the color of the shadow and transparency, what is the size of the shadow, blur, or the angle of the shadow and distance. So it also has the same glow, soft edge, 3D format and 3D rotation of the shadows. So next we are going for text box where we can align it. This is the text box where histogram is typed. So we can align the text vertically or according to our own options. And we can also select the text direction, whether horizontal, vertical, rotated to 90 degree, or whatever the options we want. So we can also customize the angle according to our options. The same kind of options will be shown for all the chart elements. So next we are going for data labels. So data label means display values on each bar. So it displays the frequency or the density value on each bar. So if I go for center, you can see the values are shown in the center. The frequency value is shown in the center. You go for inside, it shows inside end, and inside base, it shows at the inside base. And if you go for outside and it shows at the outside, you can see it you can see the changes over here. And data call out, it shows the data which is called out separately out here. And you can go for more options. But usually it is not recommended. So it can clutter the chart. So we can remove data labels. So use only if data set is small. And if the data set is large, we don't want to use it. So next we are going for data table. So it shows the raw data below the chart. So if I go for data table, shows the raw data below. You can see it's showing the raw data below here. Can you see it? So also it has more options in it. So if I click to it, you can see with legend key. If I go for no legend, it shows in a different format. And we have more options for this also as shown for the previous one. So horizontal, vertical, outline, or we can go for shadows and same the color preferences for it. So next we are moving on to data table is completed. We are going for error bars. So error bars, it shows the variability. Like for example, say standard error, percentage, standard deviation, and this one too has more options in it. So standard error shows here. You can see it shows in a kind of a line. We can also change the design of it. So if we go for more options, you can see we can change the compound type, like how the line should be. It should be a dash type, like it should be dotted lines, or the cap type should be flat or round. If you change to round, you can see the cap type to round, and you can change according to your options. So round, you can change according to your options. So next we can go for, so error bar is also not typically used in histograms. So we can remove it. It is used in scientific or experimental graphs. So we can go for the next, that is grid lines. So adds background lines. So you know grid lines, it adds a background lines. So it helps very much for reading the values easily or aligning the bar with axis. So we can use a very light grid lines for clear design. So you can see primary, major, horizontal. So you can see horizontal lines, You go for vertical, it shows vertical lines. You go for minor horizon, it shows very minor, small horizontal lines. The primary minor vertical, it shows the minor vertical lines. So this, if we go for a horizon, we can easily find the proper frequency of value of the given bar. So grid lines helps easy value reading. So next we are going for legend. So it shows category labels. So see, you can see here the category label is frequency. So it's at the right side. So if we click for top, it shows at the top of the histogram. If we go for left, it shows at the left side. You can see the difference. If we go for bottom, it shows at the bottom. So we can go with right. So in histogram, usually it is not needed. So we can remove for clear looks in the output. So next, the last one, very important, that is trend line. So it adds a trend curve. So you can see linear. So I think you can see the linear trend line and the linear forecast. It goes for a forecast. See, linear will be a shorter and forecast will be a little bit longer. And 2-period moving average. So how it is moving. And there are more options for it. So if you go for linear, if you go for more options, you can see that is how the line should be, how the arrow should be, and how the option should be. So if we go for it, options of the trend line, and we can also enter the colors for it. And we can add the line, how the line should be, and the line color, and also how the trend line options could be. So if we go for logarithm, it will be in a curved way. So if we go for linear, it will be like a straight line. Polynomial, it will be in a kind of a bend curve. So we can select according to our options. So you can also customize the trend line name. That is, here you can see it shows, if it is automatic, you can see it shows linear frequency. If we don't want linear frequency over here, we can edit the name according to our options. So, okay. So then we can also add, okay. We can also add the text option over here. If you go there, you can also add a text according to it. So also while using trend lines, we can also add the equation of the chart. So if you can see set intercept. So display equation on chart, display R square value. So if we check to it, if we tick it, so you can see it shows the equation of the chart over here. So you can see the equation of the chart, which could be got moved and kept separately. Yes, we have moved it. So you can see the equation of the chart. And we can also add the R square value of the chart also. So if we want to go for display R square value, you can see the last option. So click on it, we can see the R square value of the chart also over here. And bring it over here and you can display your equation and R square value of the given chart. Also, if you want the value of skewness and kurtosis over here, you can also enter the formula for skewness and kurtosis and you can get the output of it and display it separately using the text box. So you can use the formula equal to skewness. So, and you can enter the values of it over here, like, right? So we can find the skewness value from here. We can select the range of the data over here. If you find the out, we can find the output, that is skewness. We have got the value of skewness. If you want to find value of kurtosis, and also find the kurtosis using the formula. You can enter the data in it, and then if you enter, you'll get the value of kurtosis. So we got the values of skewness and kurtosis over here. If you want to add it over in your histogram, you can go to insert, can add a text box, get the output over here. So also you can change the color of the bars according to your wish. So you can change it to another color, and also you can change the border color of it. So you can go for border color, and also you can change the border color for it. So also you can add shadows. If you want, you can add shadows to the bars, and you can give colors according to your options. So this is how we can customize our histogram in Excel. So now I have opened my Minitab. So we can go for Minitab. So now, same as Excel, we are going to enter our data. So I have already entered my data. So then we are going to graph, and you can see histogram over here. And if you click onto it, there will be more options of histogram over here. So I'm going with fit. If I click OK, I'm going to select the column of my given data, and I'm going to select it, which will display over here as graph variables. If I click OK, now we can see it is processing. The histogram will be got displayed over here. So you can see the histogram is clearly displayed over here. So if you click onto it, you can see the edit graph option. So here you can edit the graph more clearly. So like if you click to the title, you can edit it with double click. So it will show font and alignment. You can change the font, you can change the color of it, you can change the style of it, size of it, and you can change all the options. So you can align it to center. Now the heading is, the title is at the center. So you can change it to left side of the figure or right side of the figure. So we can move on to the next one, that is, here we are going to edit the text. So here on the side, it is given mean, median, mean, standard deviation, and the number of count. So the n is the number of count of values in it, standard deviation, mean. So for this also you can go for attributes where you can fill the pattern. For here it is automatic. So if you go for custom, here you can select a pattern for it. And you can also add a background color to it in a specific manner. And you can also add a border to it. It is here automatic. If you go for custom, we can add a border to it, and you can select a color to the border. You can select the size of the border, and if you click OK, you can see there is a color filled and there is a border applied to the values given over here. So next we can also edit the x-axis label, y-axis label. If you click onto it, you can see it also shows a panel where it shows font, alignment, and show. So it's shown on lower side. If you go for high side, it will be shown on the higher side. So you can change according to your requirement. The same could be got done. So next, if you want to change the color of the bars, the same you can click onto it. It will ask for customization for everything. If you add some design to it, and if you go for a little bit different background color, and if you click OK, see the background and the design has been got changed for it. So next, you can also edit the distribution fit of the given histogram. If you click onto it, you can see a panel where you can also edit it. You can go for other options. So here it is normal. You can go for long normal and gamma and exponential. You can change according to your requirement. So distribution can be got changed. So if you go for customization, we can type of the line could be got changed, and the color could also be got changed to some other color. The size of the line can also be got changed, and if you click OK, you can see the color and the pattern has been changed. So this is how you will edit your histogram in Minitab. So you can edit and customize according to your needs. If you want to add any extra, you can also add a new text box over there to add extra information in it. So the same, if you add a text box, and if you want to add a skewness and kurtosis, you can find the descriptive statistics and select the value, and you can add it in the histogram in any of the sites you want. So the same in Excel also, you can add your skewness and kurtosis separately by finding the output by using the formula of it, and you can add it through the text box by manually, but it will not show by itself. So next we can move on to RStudio. So the same we are going to perform in RStudio. So finally, let's look at RStudio. Using ggplot and moments package, we first calculate skewness kurtosis from the data set, and we can go on for the other parts of histogram. So I have already typed and kept my function over here. So I'm going to copy it. So first I'm going to open my data set, just already here. And after opening it, I'll just paste my function over here. If I click enter, the function is getting loaded, and you can see the output is shown in the plots panel. So now I'll explain what is the code written over here. That is the functions which we have used. So first, view data is just, we are going to view the data which we have already having. And if you want to import your data, check the previous videos where I have clearly explained it, how to import a data from Excel in your RStudio. So first we can start with view data, which shows our data, and then here it shows library ggplot2 and library moments. So this is also the same. We have already installed those two packages. So to load those two packages, we are using library function. So ggplot2 is used to create advanced and customizable graphs, and moments is used to calculate statistical measures like skewness and kurtosis. So now next we have mentioned skewness data $data. So here data $data. This one represents that data is the data set name that we have entered, and data is one of the column of the data set. See, the column name of the data set is capital D data, which I have entered over here. So then skewness, it measures the asymmetry of data, and kurtosis measures the peak and tail behavior. So skew and kurt represent the skewness value and kurtosis value. Next, we are going to start plot creation. So ggplot, here you can see ggplot initialize the plotting system, and the data is the data set used, and AES x equal to data. It maps the variable data to the x-axis. So x equal to data, it maps the, see, you can see in the diagram here, the histogram, data is mapped to the variable of x-axis. So then next we are moving on to the next part, that is geom_histogram. So geom_histogram creates histogram bars. There is a function for histogram bars. So next AE is y equal to, after underscore stat, inside the bracket we have mentioned density. So this converts frequency into density. So why we are converting frequency to density over here? Because it need to match the density curve. You can see a density curve which is in red in color. So to match it, we are converting frequency to density over here by using this function. So next we are going to next part, that is bin width equal to 5. So bin width is nothing but control width of each bar. So you can see control of each bar is given over here. So that is the bin width 5 equal to 5. So we are using the bin width as 5. So next fill. Fill equal to sky blue. So fill is nothing but the color of the bars, which is filled as sky blue in color. If you change the color will be got changed in the output. So next color equal to black. So color represents the outline of the bar. So it represents the outline of the bar, which is black. You can see in the output. So next we are moving on to geom density. So why we are using geom underscore density over here? It adds smooth curve showing distribution. So you can see the smooth curve showing the distribution, how the distribution is made. So we are mentioning the color is red. So it shows red here in the output. And line width is 1. So the width of the line should be 1. So we have mentioned it also. So it shows a little bit less in width. So then we are going for geom underscore V line. So geom underscore V line, it adds vertical line reference line. Okay. So it is a vertical reference line. So you can see there is a vertical line in dotted over here. So that's what geom underscore V line. So X intercept equal to mean data dollar data. What does this represent? So it's the position at mean value. So the line should be positioned at the mean value of the given data. That's why this code is written over here. And the color of the line should be blue in color. You can see it is in dark blue in color. And line type is dashed. Dashed means it is in a dotted way. So that is the line type. So we have mentioned everything to get the output more clearly. So annotated. So annotated bracket. And we have typed some information inside it. So annotated is adds text inside the plot. So you can see there are so text inside the plots, right? So those are represented, and how this output is came through annotated function. So here it adds the text inside the plot. So x is equal to inf, comma x is equal to y equal to inf. It's the position text at top right corner. It is the position of the text in top right corner. You can see it at the top right corner. So then label. So now we are going to label it. So paste is combining text and values. We are going to combine the text and value. Here you can see skewness equal to the values given. So the text and values are combined. So for that we are using the function called paste. So combine text and values. And next we are going for round. You can see here we have used round. So round skew comma 2. So what does it mean is rounds the value to 2 decimal places. The output of the skewness is rounded to the 2 decimal places. That's what given over here to round skew comma 2. So the same for kurtosis also. Here you can see there is a /n before kurtosis. So that is new line between skewness and kurtosis. So skewness is in one line and the kurtosis in the next line. So next we are going to see h just equal to 1.1 and v just is equal to 2. So these two things explains that it adjusts text position slightly inside the plot. So it adjusts the text inside the plot. So next we are going to go for labs, that is the label of title. So title is histogram of data. So you can see the title over here, that is histogram of data. So next it is x is equal to data, y equal to density. So the label of x-axis is data and y-axis is density. That's what given over here. At last you can see theme underscore minimal. So this explains that it applies clean and simple design. So it removes unnecessary grid lines and clutters. So through this we can give a professional outlook of the histogram. So this code produces histogram which is customized. It gives density curve with a red line. So it gives a mean reference line that is in blue dashed, and then it also gives the output of skewness and kurtosis, and it is clean and professional layout. So this is how we will customize our histogram in RStudio. So we can go more detail about all this output in our next video. Thank you.